Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it!
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SCORE for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SCORE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SCORE.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babbel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, and soon you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks. So easy.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Tucson area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home Smarter Water Softener, here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale is on, with limited quantity deals on top tech. Save on select PCs powered by the latest 12th Gen Intel Core processors like thin and light XPS 13 laptops, Inspiron laptops, and 2-in-1s. Plus, get savings on select accessories, free shipping, and monthly payment options with Dell Preferred Account. Save today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Morton back to first, top of the key, wide open is Lawyer for three, and that is good. Boy, you cannot leave him open. That is the second three for Fletcher Lawyer. He gets to double figures. Already he's matched his season average of 10 points. Smith will leave it for Lawyer, inside to Edey. Back out to Lawyer, open for three, got it. Yeah, see, and that's what happens when you double-teamed Edey. They can shoot very well from outside, and Fletcher Lawyer having a day so far. Out top, it goes to Kaufman-Wren. Back out to Lawyer for three, and he right now is on fire, and Tommy Lloyd needs a timeout.
Fort Wayne's finest, Fletcher Lawyer, had the game of his life today in Indianapolis. 27 points on 11 of 18 shooting. He knocked down 5 trays, 18 of those 27 points coming in the first half of this ball game to give the Purdue Boilermakers a lead. This game was tied 30-30. The last two of those three threes you heard there put the Boilermakers up by 9, and it was a lead they would never relinquish. Arizona got as close as 4 in the second half, but the U of A falls for the first time this season, 92-84 to the number 3 team in the country. The Boilermakers likely going to be back in that number 1 spot come Monday. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show. I'm David Kelly. I've got Kelvin Efon with me. We got J.W. Madden. We'll be with you for about the next couple of hours here to rehash this ball game. Number to get in on the program, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you want to tell us what you thought of what happened to the Wildcats tonight, and it was we knew that obviously going into this game, you're going to have to deal with a big man in Zach Edey. And Edey got his points, 22 points, 9 rebounds. They kept him under double digits, obviously, in rebounds, but it was the other 2 guys. It was the 2 sophomore guards that really put on a show for the Boilermakers. Fletcher, 27, Braden Smith, 26. They combined for 9 of 16 3-point shots. We talked about how important that would be in this ball game, and the Wildcats' 3-point defense tonight really just not up to snuff. And to me, that was the difference, obviously, in the ball game. I think I've heard Kevin Durant say it a number of times over the course of the last, at least since he's been with the Suns and whatnot, and I've been listening to him post game, and he said, they simply made more shots than we did, and that's what it comes down to sometimes. And I thought that's what it came down to tonight. The Purdue Boilermakers made more shots, especially from behind the arc, than the Arizona Wildcats did. And U of A is talking, and we're talking about a loss for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the difference in the game. We made 6 threes. They made 10, which is 4 more. The difference, 8 points in there. And more so defensively, I think some of the doubles and the rotations and doubling from the front on the ball side, I don't know about that. That's a hard cover to get back to the guy. They were rotating over to him a few times, but left the guys open to knock down some key shots. It seemed like guys kind of got lost a few times there on the defensive side. You get a guy knocking down shots like Lawyer was. You got to stay connected to him. I said it before in my keys to the games. I said we have to be there on the catch. You have to be there on the catch, because when you're there on the catch, it basically kills the rhythm. You barely ever see a guy catch the ball, jab step, shoot a 3, or pump fake and shoot a 3. Usually you have to put the ball on the floor or move the ball. But if you're not there on the catch and shoot, guys basically shooting free throws for some of these guys.
Yeah, exactly. And this was a team that came in shooting 40% from 3.
Yeah, it was the first time that I think there was some confusion. Look, there was the rotations, the game plan, Kelvin, coming in, doubling from different spots than they're used to in previous games. I think that the guys in that scramble lost some shooters there in the first half. And unfortunately for Arizona, and fortunately for Purdue guys, they knocked down every single one of those open shots. And then there was a stretch there, the tie game, about 8 minutes to go in the first, a series of very poor choiced passes, Kelvin. I mean, I'm not here to put it at anybody's feet, but the combination of bad defensive rotation. Let me go back to the beginning. Number one, give all credit to the Purdue Boilermakers. I'm not trying to make excuses. They won this game. I think these 2 teams play 10 times, both win 5. Very evenly matched teams. 2 very, very good college basketball teams. And I feel like there's a lot of self-inflicted stuff going on there, especially that first half. Some real lazy passing. 3 turnovers in a row from a tie game, Kelvin. That, 15-2 run or whatever Purdue went on there at the end of the first half. They hit every open shot, and Arizona made some poor choices there, floating some passes, a couple passes that just didn't even hit a man. But again, at the end of the day, you look at the numbers, they only had 13 turnovers for the whole game at Arizona, and they had 24 assists and 13 turnovers. You're going to take that shooting 51%. It really boils down to, as you open this all up, DK, just flat out great shooting by both Smith and Lawyer. Tip your cap. Those guys got it done. They knocked down shots, and go away with the win.
And I will say, Pella is a great player, and he's a guy that we rarely ever be able to get on because of his effort and things happening. And I say in basketball, you're afforded a few games anyway. I mean, for things to go wrong when you're playing well. That's just part of being a coach. You understand that. But, he had a tough game today. I mean, to me, more so on the defensive end, I'm not used to him. Did you see a couple times, J-Dub, where the confusion and switching and him being the senior, him being the guy that been around the longest, I was expect him to notice, especially when number 2 started to get going, and he had him. A couple times he switched, and a couple times he went and helped. I felt like he forgot about the rotations. And hey, I'm not one to judge him, man. He's have had a heck of a career here, and he's the one helped put these guys in this position to be, number 1 in the country. But I just seen him uncharacteristically out of position sometimes defensively, rotating over, trying to stop the ball, leaving open shooters when they were already doing a great job on the big guy inside. So I paid a little bit too much attention to Zach Edey and didn't quite catch on early that the guards were kind of going at us.
And the other real quick big takeaway, DK, for me, resilience. Right, because they could have just hung their head. It's not our night tonight, but they came roaring back there in the second half. This is not a team that's going to give up. They got fight all game long. So, again, Arizona made that run. Purdue was just the better team tonight. You got to give them credit.
Yeah, and they did that defensively. I mean, Purdue in that second half had 10 turnovers, and that's what we've seen this Arizona Wildcat team do. They in the second half they turned teams over. They got out in transition. I mean, it was like 3 dunks in a row. He shot Johnson, 2 for Umar Ballo. I mean, and it looked like at that point, okay, maybe this is going to be the Wildcats getting back into it. But again, Purdue at home with a crowd behind them. Essentially, just was able to make enough shots down the stretch to hold the Wildcats off for this 92-84 win today.
It's got to be mentioned, Painter came in with just a perfect game plan.
Yeah.
I just think that coaching staff, 19 years there on campus, just so impressed. He's obviously got the personnel to get it done, but they pushed all the right buttons. And a lot of the issues that Arizona was having in those scramble drills and fighting shooters was due to the action that they had to go into zone second half, guys. I mean, we haven't seen Tommy Lloyd do much zone in his whole time here at Arizona in 2.5 years. They had to, because the action that Purdue and Painter was running was confusing those switches. They couldn't figure out how to scramble back to shooters, Kelvin. So got to give credit to the coaching staff for Purdue as well.
We'll get into that as well. Tommy's decision to go to the zone, how long he stayed with it. Should he have stayed with it longer? We'll talk about all that. You can answer those questions as well. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We'll review our keys to the game. We'll have our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game, as well as review our best bets. I don't think... Well, we are taking home a little bit of money. Well, we're breaking even tonight, I think, is about all we're doing. Yeah, we're breaking even. That's about the only thing that's happening here tonight. Let's talk to Doug. Doug, you're first up. Meridian Wealth Management postgame show after a 92-84 Arizona loss to Purdue.
Hey, guys. Well, you're already jumping the gun doing the best bets. I'm going to jump the gun and do the best of the game. I think we know who that was. Oh, my God.
Wait, so which guy? Which guy? Oh, Fletcher? Fletcher was your
Lawyer,
pass?
yeah.
Lawyer.
Because you know Braden Smith is going to have a good game, and Edey is just a given. But, like, when a guy goes 17 points above his average, 17 points above his average?
Yeah.
That's an anomaly, all right? That's an anomaly. Now, you do give them credit, but, man, you got to think that if we had to do this game over again, we're going to defend a little bit better than what we saw today. You guys already hit on it, but, man, just the lack of switching on those screens is just so frustrating. We just played a team last week who also screens, 1,000 screens a game, and we did great, getting around those screens. And but then today it just seemed like we were lost on the switches, and it was really frustrating.
Yeah, Kelvin.
And it was just they were just shooting ducks in a barrel out there.
Kelvin, seems like against Wisconsin, they did not switch. They're going over the top of those screens. And tonight, they did. Like, there was a lot of on-ball switches on those screens, guard to guard. They were trying to force, obviously, Braden to go left. That was a big part of that first half. But did you see, Kelvin, a little more switching on-ball screens, guard to guard, than maybe we had in the past?
It seemed like they usually switch a lot out there because, they all could switch, I think, 1 through 4 pretty easily. I think the difference was just the personnel of having that big 7'4" guy. I think he screws up everything because you're overthinking about him. You're overthinking about him taking over. You're dropping 3 and 4 guys. You don't usually do that with Ballo. To me, that's the biggest difference in the game plan. You don't usually have a guy that we have to respect so much that everybody's dropping and doubling. And I thought we were better when we didn't double him.
Yeah, I thought early in the ball game, they had him off his point for about the first 10 minutes. He couldn't get to his point, couldn't get comfortable. But then kind of midway through that elongated first half, it took him, 8 minutes to get to the first time out of the game. That's kind of when he kind of started getting to his point and the jump hook was starting to go.
No, Kelvin's exactly right, and no one should be surprised about that. But I mean, a lot of it was not off of bad screen response. It was more to do with like bringing the double team and then not being able to react, or not getting that guy to rotate over, like on that key dagger 3 at the end, where Keyshaw drops down to double Edey, and then Love is supposed to rotate over, I think, to guard the shooter, and we just didn't close out on him. And next thing you know, it's like ball game right there. I think it maybe pushed it from 6 to 9 or something like that.
Right. And the toughest ones, guys, I'm telling you, is the ones when you double ball side. Ball side, is the entry pass side, and you turn your back. That's one of the first things you learn. And I don't know what the game plan was. And it looked like it was the big double a lot, J-Dub. So what they did was the coach got smart, and he had their big make the entry pass. So now Keyshaw is having to turn his back to go double, and you can't do that. You can't do it because the guy is going to be wide open to relocate, and when you turn to find him, you think he's in the same spot, but he's gone now.
Man ball.
And now you're in a scramble. But, that's the game plan was to keep Zach off. They didn't really want to get Zach going down there, so I understand that and executing the game plan, but that should have been more of a dig, right? Right, because he was up high a lot of those times. He wasn't like he was going into his dribble where he's basically making his mind up that he was going to score. So you kind of got to dig in there, where you're basically leveled off, where you see man and ball, where you're ready to recover to your guy. But you turn your back like that, you go and look at that film, and I'm definitely not blaming those instances because there was a lot of things that happened in this game. But to me, that was one where it just set us up to scramble and put us in a bad position. You don't never, and I don't think I ever seen them double from ball side. You usually bring it from the backside.
All that being said, the guys still had to make the shot. Those two guys, Smith and Lawyer, combined to shoot 61%, and they're jump shooters.
But you're more 61%. Likely. You're more likely to make that shot. You're more likely to make that shot when you're wide open.
Well, especially off of a kick out, because guys always like to shoot off of a kick out more so than off the dribble, right? Yeah, but what I'm thinking is, like Lute always used to say, like, the 3 is worth 50% more than the 2. So I'd rather just, if Edey's going to beat us for 2 points here, 2 points there, let him. But don't give up so many threes. That's just, that lead ballooned to 17 points really quick because of that outside shooting. And I just have a feeling that if we could play this matchup again, you're going to see a pretty different result. At least I would like to think so. And I'd love a second chance at them this year, obviously, because that's only going to happen probably in Glendale. So. But, no, there's a lot to like. A lot of props to Love for keeping us in this game. He made a lot of heroic shots. Keyshaw Johnson was just totally unafraid of going up against that mountain. Ballo, too. Ballo, you've never seen a guy Ballo's size look like such a shrimp next to Edey, But, he held his own. We got him on a lot of lobs. And it just really came down to our guard play and our small forward just not really having it, just the turnovers were careless. I don't know, some of the shot selection didn't seem so great. It was just frustrating, And I'll tell you what, everyone always talks about like who's our non-conference rival, and everyone just wants to say Duke. It's Duke. It's Illinois. It's Wisconsin. But Purdue's under my skin. Purdue is under my skin, guys. They beat us twice now when we're number one in the country. They ended Lute Olson's career. They beat us in Atlantis. Like, next time, guys, you need to bring the emotion, because I just felt like we didn't have the fire that they had in this game. I don't know if I'm right, but just some of our guys played kind of flat in that first half, and we didn't play that way against Wisconsin. Like, we played like we were defending the family honor. And today, I just felt like
that was that game at home, right? I don't mean to cut you off, but that was the game at home, right? You kind of on the road, right? This game was on the road, So think about it. They basically was in the backyard of Purdue.
Yeah,
they basically was in the backyard.
But we brought the heat at Duke. We brought the heat at Duke. We being the road team.
But right now, Duke ain't Purdue. Not right now.
No, that's
not
true.
Right
yeah,
now.
Purdue's been overrated in the past, but this year I really feel like they're legit. Now, of course, they're probably going to come right out and lose to some Turkey.
For sure.
Because that's what all of the teams we've been playing have been doing, And Alabama's probably going to lose to Creighton tonight, and it seems like that's the way.
Well, whatever team that takes Fletcher and Braden serious, because I think our guys, and I think I would have made the mistake too. I think I would have made the mistake and not paid attention to them as much as I should have, thinking that they don't really look like much. They don't look. I mean, you look at them, you didn't think that they were killers like that. And you look at some of the games, and you have to respect the game. But once you get on that floor with those guys, and you kind of think like, he ain't gonna make that shot. He ain't gonna take that shot. And then before you know it, he done made 4 threes. And now your respect level is different. And the second half, not so much for those guys, right? Because they stepped up a little bit. The respect level was different because you know it, J-Dub. Once a guy get going in basketball, it's not football where you can tackle a guy. It's basketball, right? Once he get going and that shot gets to falling, it's hard to stop him unless you just full deny him and don't let him get a touch.
He did it, didn't it? Was it his first bucket right at the rim?
In the second half?
Yeah, no, in the first, in the very beginning. So it's like before all those threes started falling, he did that thing we always talk about. He saw that ball go through the hoop. So I think about guys like Derek Fisher, right?
Go ahead.
Derek Fisher, Calvin.
Go ahead.
I mean, how many buckets did Derek Fisher make in his career? How many of those are due because he had to play with Shaq and Kobe?
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're talking about Zach Edey. He's going to be the 2-time National Player of the Year in college basketball this year. He's going to. And obviously Arizona's focus mostly was on him. And they know the scout they know those guys are shooters. They know those guys can get it done. But I think a lot of those rotations we're talking about, go back and look at that film, a little bit of heavy attention to Mr. Edey there in the middle led to a lot of those open looks. And you got to. I mean, he's the best player in college basketball, so that's how it works.
I was just going to say, what would Purdue fans be saying today if Boswell came out and scored 27? Because that's basically what Lawyer did.
You keep listening, Doug, and we're going to be talking a lot about Kylan Boswell as the show goes on. Don't you worry.
Oh, no, I'm not knocking him. I'm not saying it for anything about Boswell. I'm giving you perspective on points per game average, okay? And Lawyer's a 10 points per game guy, and so is Boswell, I think, roughly, right? If he came out and scored 27 today, what would Purdue fans be thinking? Like, where did this guy come from?
Sure.
And that's kind of where we are right now. That's all I'm saying. My last point is just that when we cut it down to 4, I thought we kind of went away from what got us back into the game, with Love getting his shots and some, drive and kick and the lobs and stuff. We decided we were just three different times down the floor that I can remember, we decided we're going to just pound it in the paint and go one-on-one against Edey. And I think we went 0 for 3 on those attempts. And that, to me, that just seemed really suspect that we would suddenly think that we're going to show that we're not afraid of this big guy. We're going to go up against him and score. And, Previous missed his, and then Balo, I think, missed a couple. I don't know. I just didn't like that approach when you're coming down to crunch time and you really need a bucket. I just thought we had other ways we could have attacked right there. Did you guys notice that?
Keyshaw finished 3 times over him, Pello once, but all of them were on the move, guys. All of those were catching and moving towards the basket. But those
pick and roll,
those stagnant post-ups by Balo, I mean, again, I think a couple of those actually were really close. It's not like Edey just blocked it into the stands or anything. I mean, those were effective to the point but the ball did not go in the bucket.
And I'll say this, that's how they've been winning. That's you seen Balo posting deep, open, hands up. You throw it in there, Balo has made some things happen. Sometimes that's just a habit. And I think at the end of that game right there, they would have been better off bringing them out and getting them in the pick and roll, getting them back to where they're throwing it up high. I don't understand. J-Dub, they kind of went away from the pick and roll because of the turnovers where they were doing bounce passes to a 7-footer. I never understood those bounce passes. I mean, yes, our guys could catch it, but when you're in a situation where you see the little guards coming through, Lawyer got like 3 or 4 of those. Made him look like he had 4 steals.
Yeah.
Made him look like a defensive stalwart. They revived his career, with that right there. So because he was having problems on defense, and now he can say, hey, I'm in the right position. I'm making plays. But if you lob those passes, every one of those, he would not have got those steals.
Yeah, those two guys combined for 7 steals in the game. Fletcher Lawyer and Brandon Smith.
Yeah. I'll let other guys jump in. It's not a damaging loss. We're going to learn from it. And, heck, our RPI and net rating might even get higher because we're playing this game.
Yeah.
So, it's just frustrating because, you would have liked to see us play better. But we'll learn from it. And Tommy's got the greatest attitude. So he's just going to take the bad and fix it and take the good and build on it. So I'm not too worried about it. It's just a little frustrating. But thanks for the time, guys.
As always, Doug.
Yep.
We appreciate
everybody
you.
up in Phoenix on Wednesday night.
Definitely. Wednesday night up in
Yep.
Phoenix
I'll be up there.
against the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back and have more for you. Arizona, number 1 in the nation, falls to third-ranked Purdue 92-84. So the Wildcats will drop out of the top spot after a 2-game stay. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame show, along with Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Back to the holiday shopping adventures of Eugene Snarkle and his best friend Doug.
Hey, Eugene, we waited a little too long to get our shopping done. The shelves are looking pretty empty.
I was thinking of getting everyone a giant-sized bag of Cheezos.
We interrupt Eugene's great idea for this message.
Does your car, truck, SUV, or sleigh need a little maintenance to get road trip ready for the holidays? Check out jackfurriers.com for savings up to 50% off. Get your vehicle holiday road trip ready at Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, here to get you there.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
The Christmas season is upon us, and Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is in the giving spirit. Now to the end of the year, with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning and heating system, we'll give you a $1,000 Visa gift card to help with your holiday expenses. Call us at 520-440-4069 for all the details. 520-440-4069.
Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer looking for quality car parts in Tucson, look no further. Advance Auto Parts has 6 Tucson locations with over 75 years in business. Advance Auto Parts is the largest car parts retailer in the U.S., and customers know they can trust their products, like Die-Hard batteries. Now with free installation, only found at Advance Auto Parts stores. Take advantage of our same-day delivery and pickup. Just visit our website at stores.advanceautoparts.com and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Advance Auto Parts for all your car repair needs. Now a proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
What do you mean, trenchless?
Means no trench.
But it's the sewer line.
And they did it without ruining my yard.
The yard we're standing in?
The very same.
I don't know if I trust that.
I trust that because I trust them.
Them?
Ram Plumbing.
Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing, offering a comprehensive range of plumbing services from fixtures to installation to trenchless sewer replacement. Turn to Tucson's most trusted plumber. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season featuring 8 blockbuster productions including Disney's Aladdin, The Book of Mormon, Hairspray, and Chicago. Enjoy the Southern Arizona musical premieres of Tina, the Tina Turner Musical, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, MJ the Musical, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Secure your choice season tickets today and get the ultimate in flexibility and the lowest prices all season. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your season tickets today.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. And coming soon is Del Webb at Rockin' K, a 55-plus active adult community offering a rec center, world-class amenities that promote health and wellness, and new homes with refined interiors and stunning outdoor spaces. Live RockinK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Inside the first, double team knocked away by Bradley and stolen away. Here goes Love on the run for the Wildcats, 3-on-1. Ahead to Ballo, slam home, 2 more, and the Cats on a run now. They're back within 4.
Wildcats lose to the number 3 team in the country, Purdue, 92-84. First loss of the season for Arizona. Umar Ballo got going in the second half, 13 points. Wildcats again got the transition game going off defense. Finished the game with 17 fast break points on the 13 turnovers. As we mentioned in the first part of the show, and neither team really turned the ball over a lot. I mean, 13 turnovers apiece is pretty good. But the Wildcats were able to kind of get things going in that second half to cut into what had blossomed to a 15-point disadvantage to get it back down to 4, but Purdue wins it by a score of 92-84. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's hand out some hardware here to start this second segment. It is our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game, and you want to pick this one tonight, J-Dub? I usually pick it, but I'll let you.
Well, obviously, Keyshawn led them in rebounding with 8, and he was very active on the boards. The other contenders are Umar Ballo had 6. Caleb Love at the guard spot also had 6 rebounds. So I would say somewhere between Love and Johnson.
Somewhere between Love and Johnson. Okay.
That sounds like a song from the 70s.
Exactly.
I mean, it's got to be Keyshawn. I think Keyshawn was the most active guy out there today.
Yeah.
I think he really took the challenge on, head first, and I think he was super active. 8 boards against that front line. It's impressive. I think he's the rebounder of the game.
J-Dub, I was just talking to DK, and I said, I think he made himself some money tonight. And 2 for 2 from 3, going at Edie. I said, he's not going to play many 7-footers. Those guys are dinosaurs in the NBA now.
Well, they're guards, right?
Yeah.
Got off to that great start, but then they didn't get him any more 3-point shots after those 2 early ones. I wish they would have done that a little bit more.
He hit his limit. It's 2 a game.
Because again, like I said, that's one of the things I want him to make more, but I wouldn't mind him taking a few more, too, if he's hot early on.
Right, for sure.
Stay with the hot hand and let him get a few more shots out of that, but it did not happen. He made the first 2, and that was it, but finished 8 of 13 from the floor.
Can we not give it out to anybody?
Because
I feel like we talked about, a couple bad passes maybe there in the first half. Not too many, but that led to that big run and that deficit was a few bad passes. And we talked about some bad defensive rotations. But, fellas, we have not talked about boxing out, because boxing out today was one of the biggest issues that Arizona was having. So you look at the rebound totals, 27-32. You know, they were out rebounded by 5. But Kelvin, I mean, how many loose balls, and especially those long mid rebounds that bounce out to maybe 10, 12 feet, felt like Purdue got every one that mattered, right?
Yeah, no, that's for sure. It just seemed like they was just being a little more scrappy than us. You know, I was thinking to myself, and I wasn't thinking about any excuses, but I thought about when we used to fly across the country for a game, and sometimes how we started a little slow, trying to get our legs back. And with basketball, what was it? You go the day before?
Yeah.
You know, so that's probably one of these type of games you probably want to go 2 days, maybe 3 days before, so you can get a little bit more acclimated. But that's not any excuses. But that's the reality, you know, of you know, you just imagine you taking, what is that, a 3-4 hour flight? Where we at? And then you have a game that next day, and you're trying to get yourself together, and you're still dealing with young guys. And this, like I said, it sounds like an excuse, but trust me, if you've been in that situation, you can understand it. It just looked like it took them a little time to get their wits about themselves.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That first 8 minutes, both those teams were going up and down, and they had 34 points in that. I think before that first
there was
timeout,
no stoppages, right? So they had to take 2 official timeouts at once because there was no under 16. So they had to fly by the under 16. Got to like 11:48. They had to take back-to-back timeouts. So those guys, towards the end of that stretch, they were starting to look a little bit tired.
Tommy admitted at the end of the game he thought maybe his team was a little bit tired, and again that could go to the travel as well. I mean, you get out there and you know you're. And you don't necessarily have the legs that you'd like to have in that type of situation.
And that's for sure. And you're scrambling, and you're used to getting there a little quicker, and you just that little off. And I had said before, I thought that we could fast break these guys. We beat them 17-7 on the fast break points, but when you're knocking down shots from 3, DK, because a lot of times you could take that ball out and run it back at them if it's a 2-point shot, because you still got about 80 feet to run. But when these guys are making threes, J-Dub, they're already, you know, 3/4 of court back, getting ready to get back on defense, and now you can't get into your transition, because I thought when we ran the ball, we was pretty effective, but we were just taking that ball out the net, and there was a long net on there. You know what that long net means, right, J-Dub? It kills that ball coming out that net fast when you can't get out.
Yeah, Painter picked those ones, I think. Here's what I'm looking at. 54% from Purdue, right? Arizona had 21 defensive rebounds. Purdue had 11 offensive rebounds. So that means 32 available rebounds at Arizona's rim, and Purdue got 32% of those rebounds.
Well, again,
it's not like the numbers are outrageous. It's not like they had 11 offensive rebounds. That's not a crazy number. But based on the fact that both teams shot above 52% in the game, every one of those possessions mattered so much. Turnovers not crazy. It was a very clean game by both teams. Both teams shot well. They did not turn over the ball very much. That makes every possession, Kelvin, even more important, which is why I point to defensive lapses and rotations, a couple of sloppy passes, and not boxing out and getting those rebounds. Every single one of those is important when you're talking about an 8-point game that could have gone either way down the stretch. Giving up 11 offensive rebounds on 32 possible rebounds.
And the crazy part about the 11 is they only scored 11 second chance points.
Yeah, they didn't get. Yeah.
So it was them 3-pointers. It was them threes, man. You get down to it, man. It was those threes, man. I mean, they knocking down them threes, like you said, it gives you that extra point, man.
All right, so Keyshawn Johnson is our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. We announce that after every game. Window Depot, lowest prices, biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number.
I got a question for Mr. Coach Kelvin Ifon. What do you think of Kylan Boswell's play today? I wasn't trying to, when I was talking there to Doug, I wasn't trying to diss on him. Obviously, the young man, I love his game. I love everything about it. I just thought coming into this matchup with Braden Smith that it was going to be decided between how well each of those two guys played, the sophomore point guards. And it's not like Kylan Boswell didn't have a couple of flashing moments. It's just how many times did you hear his name called, Kelvin, or how many times was he making a huge impact either in breaking some kind of pressure, penetrating and finding somebody or anything, or even knocking down open shots. I don't know, travels, maybe sick or something. I'm not here trying to point fingers or anything.
Right.
It didn't feel like that was the normal Kylan Boswell we've seen this year so far. What'd you think?
No, it wasn't, and I had said it earlier. I said Larson and Boswell didn't have their better games. This is one of the times where they struggled a little bit, and I'm not quite sure what it was. Boswell has been getting a lot of love, and now you are the number one team in the country, and so sometimes you can get a little swagger about yourself and get a little overconfident. Because I will say this, I think he took a few overconfident shots, where he was snaking the screen a lot, and for the people that don't notice, when you go over the screen and you already got the big man right there, so a couple times he made the bounce pass, which turned into his 2 turnovers. But I thought he had a couple lob attempts that he could have took to Ballo that he didn't take, but he was snaking the screen, getting back to his shot, looking for his shot. And I think in a big game like this, I mean, and I can understand a little bit with Braden starting to go off a little bit, you kind of want to go back at him and and keep him occupied. But I just think in a game like this, your point guard kind of got to play just a little smarter right there in certain little situations. Hey, he earned every shot that he's taken. I mean, he's another one of the guys who put them in a situation to be the number one team in the country. So, of course, as a coach, you trust him. But as someone sitting there watching J-Dub, I just thought, also defensively, I felt like he just wasn't playing the usual defense I'm used to him, playing, getting over the screens, fighting through the screens.
That was it to me. Braden Smith had open space, Kelvin, pretty much. Yeah. And not to say that was just his, they were switching quite a bit. Kylan Boswell was not on Braden Smith the whole time. But the perimeter guys, open looks, I feel like Kylan Boswell's quick-footed as much as anybody in that backcourt for Arizona. And I don't know. I mean, again, I'll have to go back and look at the tape. I was looking at a lot of other guys, but watching Kylan Boswell out there, it maybe just felt like he wasn't quite as quick-footed as he was, especially defensively.
And another thing I'll say about that is that I also feel like this is going to end up being great for Boswell. We do remember he's 18.
Yeah.
But I think this will end up being a great learning lesson for him, because this was the biggest environment he ever been in, for the whole team, really. The number 1 versus number 3 team on the East Coast, 1 million scouts at the game, all type of different things up for grabs. I just think that losing that game is going to end up being better for them and his team, because I was wondering, I was looking down the schedule, I said, maybe Florida Atlantic. I was looking down because I thought we would be Purdue, honestly. But Florida Atlantic, with their veterans, seniors, 28-year-olds, I just like, man, that's going to be a tough one right there. They're a little more mature than us. But then I thought, well, what if we go undefeated? And who in the Pac-12 did I want to lose to and be our first loss? It wasn't nobody that I could think of. So I think losing to the number 3 team in the nation, you can go back and show these guys, and they're going to really be, listening intently to make some of these corrections that are going to be needed to be successul in this season.
And that's the only trip across the country playing number 3 in their own backyard, right? So, I mean, that's a very unique situation, like you just said, Kelvin. Yeah. It's not going to be a lot of repeating. Paulie's going to be tough this year because his last game in there. Obviously, Autzen or Eugene, same thing. But as far as an environment, that was clearly 85-90% Purdue fans there. You got everybody knows that Coach Lloyd is looking for games so that he can have teachable moments and they could be their best in March. I mean, that's what this is all about.
Yeah, I mean, and these are the games that you look at, because you can't. I mean, there's not a lot of teachable moments in a 25, 30-point win over UT Arlington. You're not going to get that, but you can get a lot out of a game like this when you win or lose to a team like the Purdue Boilermakers. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back. We'll review our keys to the game. We'll talk to you. 520-848-1290 is the number to call. Wildcats fall to the Purdue Boilermakers. First loss of the season with J.W. Madden and Kelvin Efon. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog in Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC. WTUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
What up, Tucson? This is Joseph Blair, former Wildcat and assistant coach of the Washington Wizards. When I came to play basketball at the U of A in the 90s, the Tucson community became and has always remained a special part of my life. And this is why I proudly joined the Meridian Wealth Management Tucson Advisory Business Council. If you have financial questions or concerns, please be sure and call my friends Natalie or Ruben Fernandez at 719-1433 or visit online at Meridian Wealth LLC. And as always, bear down, Tucson.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Rightway will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. We will give you up to $2,000 trade-in plus 0% interest up to 60 months. Manufacturer rebates plus 10-year parts and labor warranty on a new heating and air system.
Have an aging heating and air system? Out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
At Standard Restaurant Supply, their vision and #1 goal is to improve the lives of their customers and clients by providing a better culinary experience. Standard Restaurant Supply, if it's in a restaurant and not food, they have it. Open to the public, no membership fees, and they offer bulk store pricing without the bulk store purchase. Open Monday through Saturday at 601 South Cherry Avenue or call 885-2345. Standard Restaurant Supply is a proud sponsor of the U of A Radio Sports broadcast.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Well, boss, how's the sleigh?
Oh, it's amazing. Like it just flew off the showroom floor. Sparkling clean, no chimney dust, and I've never seen his nose so bright.
Recon Auto Detailing.
Recon gift cards to all, and to all a clean ride.
Give Recon Auto Detailing gift cards, and Arizona's premier auto detailing company will come do a basic cleaning or a jaw-dropping full detail, including a ceramic finish for anyone on your list. Get your Recon Auto Detailing gift cards now online at recondetail.com.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
The new Blue Whale Car Wash, formerly Octopus Car Wash, is now open. They're locally owned and operated and offer many ways for you to save. Start now by downloading the Blue Whale Car Wash app. Then visit their website at bluewhalecarwashaz.com to find a location near you. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram and Facebook for even more saving. And for a limited time, their exterior-only wash is $5 at all 4 locations. From the family at Blue Whale Car Wash to your family, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
The Meridian Wealth Management postgame show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Inbounds for Purdue. Runner by Lawyer. Missed Edey. The offensive rebound and lays it in.
Zach Edey, 22 points on 8 of 15. Had that offensive rebound there. 9 rebounds total. Had 5 assists as well. 2 steals and 1 block shot in 36 minutes for Purdue as they knock off number 1 Arizona, 92-84. Cats fall to 8-1 on the season. Purdue Boilermakers will now be the new number 1 team in the country. Maybe Kansas also won today.
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
I think Kansas, man, Self is not going to take that. Kansas
came back from 13 down on the road, just an hour down the road in Bloomington, Indiana, and beat the Indiana Hoosiers today. A very nice performance by the Jayhawks.
Even though that was a more impressive win for Purdue, I will say, over
Back
the number 1 team in the country.
To the highlight. Do you know the significance of that?
The significance of that highlight.
Putback broke an 8-minute field goal-less streak by Purdue. They followed that up with back-to-back threes after that, and that was the game. So Arizona's stretch where they were really D'ing up, doing that zone thing, and really frustrating Purdue, that Edey putback there broke an 8-minute drought without a field goal.
Yeah. And, it was second half of the ball game. That was when the Wildcats made their run. They trailed 67-52, and Keyshawn Johnson would score the next 7 points of the ball game, and then the back-to-back dunks by Oumar Ballo as the Wildcats went on an 11-0 run to cut it to 67-63. And then, like you said, Zach Edey with the putback there got things going. That made it 73-65. It was a 6-point game at that point. And they go on to win it 92-84. 520-848-1290. Let's talk to Anthony. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show, Wildcats Radio 1290. Bless you.
Hello, how you guys doing tonight? Thank you. That was my wife in the background. Thank you guys very much. So, Kelvin, you were on fire, man, right now, just with what you were saying. You took everything I was going to say, basically, but I just wanted to piggyback on what he said. That's a good point. This is a good learning experience. It's better to lose this game. This is going to be more teachable than just a bad night at Oregon State or something like that along the road. When that happens, remember, we're dealing with young kids that are going to just take it chalk it up as, we just had an off night. But when you lose to a team that's equivalent to you, maybe slightly better or just right behind you, and you get down as much as you got down and fought back, there's a lot of good teaching moments here that will grab their attention. Not so much if you lose like at an Oregon State or like at a Stanford, just like a weird one where they'll just chalk it up like, okay, in one ear, out the other. But yeah, another good point about Boswell too. He just looked a little off today. He just his plus minus must have been pretty rough. But
minus
right,
19. Minus 19.
Yes.
Not good.
And he came back. When he came back, a little tentative, a little issues. I really wish he would have stayed with the zone and kept the press going, and that got us a run. But I also kind of feel like we exerted a lot of energy to get back, so that's what it was. And that's what happens in a loss, man. In a loss, you could like, oh, well, this happened bad, this happened that. Yeah, in a loss, there's a reason why you lost. Things bad happen. And it was just a rough night, a good learning experience. I would love to get him back in the tournament. If we do play him in the tournament, most likely it'll be in Arizona and Phoenix if we get him, because I figure we'll both be 1 seed. So, I mean, hopefully we do get him back on our neutral court and then go from there. But, yeah, man, great little part right now. Kelvin took everything I had to say, but I love this show, man, and you guys have a good one.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. Appreciate you as always.
I'm gonna say this. I like Purdue, but I don't know if they're gonna get there, J-Dub. I don't think that those guys are gonna be able to play like that. I think they're going to get more attention. Lawyer and Braden, I don't think people are going to let them do that. And I think the big fella's going to get his, but it's tough for him to beat you by himself. They beat you when those other guys play well. And I think when you start getting to one and done type of games, people are going to really heat those guys up and make it tough for them. I mean, J-Dub, I was just confused. They had one guy that could create.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. I think it was deceptive what you saw today, and one reason, because Ballo might be the only person in the country that can push that dude around. And so, like, in the standard game, Purdue's going to see, they're going to just see Edey get fed. You saw him get a lot of assists on kickouts to shooters, but in the average game, Edey's finishing a lot of those shots in the first 10 minutes because he's not getting pushed 8-10 feet off the block, Kelvin. So I think, like, Edey is such a dominant physical force, and the luxury of having a senior like Umar Ballo who has the strength to be able to get him pushed out a little bit. You saw the difference when Krivas got in that game. I agree with you. I mean, I think if Purdue plays like that, I mean, they're going to make a real deep run because they got all the pieces. But that's it's hard relying on jump shooters, right?
Yeah,
so, how many, they got a couple floaters in the lane that were real nice, a couple of putbacks, but as far as finishing, it was almost all perimeter.
And that was once the rim had got huge for him, right?
Right.
That was once the rim had got huge. It was at that point. Remember the floater that they did in the second half where he threw up and it came off the backboard and go. J-Dub, please tell the people how hard that is to do.
Oh, you mean Braden?
It
or the
was
other
Lawyer.
kid, Lawyer.
Remember they ran the play for him
high off the glass, at that weird angle
off the front of the.
I mean that's some Steph Curry. You got to have the full finishing package to be able to hit that consistently. So it wasn't just threes going down. There were some floater things that were, they probably come off, 70% of the time. Kelvin, you're right. I mean, it was their night.
Yeah.
And it was we got a pretty good ball game going down here in this CBS Classic game right now. Number 14 Kentucky, number 9 North Carolina. With 12 seconds to go, the Wildcats, the Blue Cats, are beating North Carolina 86-83. That's a top 15 matchup today. So some good schedule. I mean, this was a really good Saturday for college basketball. You look at Michigan State; they're unranked, but they were playing number 6 Baylor today, and they won by 24 points.
Man, Blue Baylor out.
But
that's that competition they face, though, right?
Scoreboard.
That's the competition that they face. Michigan State been playing all tough teams, and it comes together for you when you see some teams. I don't know if Baylor been playing as rough as a preseason schedule.
Maybe not. Let's can we do our keys to the game here, J-Dub?
Just give me 1 second.
All right. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. I want to tell you, and we didn't mention this in our pregame show, we are going to be, I'll be live in Phoenix on Wednesday. So let me kind of spell out for you what's going to be happening on Wednesday. There are 2 games up at the Footprint Center in Phoenix. The Arizona women's basketball team is going to play one of the early games in the Colangelo Hall of Fame series. They're going to take on Gonzaga. That's a game that starts at 2:30 up at the Footprint Center. So we will have that game for you right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 on Wednesday. Then, as soon as that broadcast is done with Derek Palmer, we'll dive right into the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. I'm going to be live at Willie's Taco Joint. Willie's Taco Joint, it's one of those stretches of bars right there between the Footprint Center and Chase Field. So come on down to the game. Come on down to Willie's Taco Joint. That's where we'll be. We'll be down there from 5 until 8 on Wednesday, leading you up to Arizona basketball at the Footprint Center. The Wildcats game against Alabama tips off at 9 o'clock. Alabama, in fact, right now on your Mesquite Valley Growers scoreboard, it just started their game at Creighton tonight, so they're playing a top 10 game tonight as well. Are the Crimson Tide on the road before they head out to Phoenix? So we'll be there from 5 to 8. Then the game will be at 9, so network pregame from 8 to 9. A game will go from 9 to 11:30, midnight, somewhere in that neighborhood, and then we'll be back at Willie's Taco Joint with your Meridian Wealth Management post-game show from midnight till about 2 in the morning or so on Wednesday, Thursday. So we've got a full day of basketball for you coming up on Wednesday here on Wildcats Radio 1290. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. So join us at Willie's Taco Joint right there on the corner next to the Footprint Center on that little stretch of, I believe it's Jefferson Street, between the Footprint Center and Chase Field. So that's one of those stretches of bars right there.
Before we do keys, this Kentucky North Carolina game's finishing up, right?
Yeah,
Kelvin's watching.
I think North Carolina's got it. Actually, Kentucky's got the ball. Yeah. So they're gonna have to foul here. But
I did see a funny meme from earlier. This is a post from the Kentucky Trial Court Review, and they said the jury in Somerset just went out after closings. I'd predict they'll eat lunch, deliberate, and either have a verdict or say they are done for the day before the 5:30 when UK plays North Carolina. They love their basketball.
They do. They do indeed. Had a chance to go down to Lexington it's probably been about 12 years ago when I was with IMG, because that was the home office at the time. We used to always have our annual meetings down there in Lexington. But nice little fun town. A lot of horse racing goes on there. All right, let's review what we thought needed to happen in this game today.
Wildcats fans, how did today's Keys to the Game go for the Wildcats? Keys to the Game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, I believe I went first.
I think so. Let's find out.
Let's find out. One of the things this team has hung its hat on all year has been the defensive side of the ball and the way they defend. But to me, the other thing that goes with that is the fact that they are essentially only allowing teams lately one shot at the offensive end. This is the best defensive rebounding team in the country, and they need to continue that today. They don't allow second chances to this team, because this is the best three-point shooting team that you're going to face this season. If they can continue to defend and rebound, one shot, go down and score, it's going to be a good day for Arizona. And in that respect, you got to defend. Today's the day. You've got to defend the three-point line if you're Arizona, because, again, this team can fire it up. They shoot 40% from behind the arc. And in their home turf, if they get going, and like I said, my key, a guy like Mason Gillis coming off the bench shooting 53% from three, if you allow these guys to get hot with their crowd behind them, it could be a long afternoon for Arizona. So rebound and defend the three are my top keys today. And that's essentially kind of what happened. I mean, you look at them, again, on the season, they shoot 40%, but in a tight, they shot 42 today. And in a tight game, that extra 2%, it really does make the difference. And we talked about it in the last segment. They were able to get more done on the offensive glass than we had seen recently. What I think the Wildcats had given up like maybe six offensive rebounds in the last two games. But they were able to get 11. And that was much better performance than you would have liked to have seen.
It's so hard to even factor how important that is, because think about it like this. Those are not rebounds under the basket. Those are long rebounds going towards Arizona's basket. So if a guard picks one of those up, Kelvin, that might as well be a bucket for Arizona. So those long rebounds that Purdue got, even though they only had 11 offensive rebounds, most of those, I would say 7 or 8 of those, prevented Arizona from getting out and putting pressure on them on a fast break or semi-fast break. So they had timely offensive rebounds, to put it that way.
And who was next? Kelvin?
Yeah. Mine again, same as you, rebounding, but better yet, box out Edey. Even if you have to put two guys up, two guys boxing them out, because usually the point guard gets back, so you have an extra guy in your rebounding. So box out Edey. Push the ball on all rebounds, steals, and makes. I think by pushing the ball, you force him to run, and he can't jog up and down the court. You force him to have to get into a sprint, and hopefully you wear him down for the last 10 minutes of the game, and you can pull it out. And then thirdly, be there on the catch. So as soon as that ball is in the air, you have to be there on the catch. Don't let the guy catch the ball and then close out. It's too late. They can get a shot up, knock it down, and get themselves going.
Fast break points in this game, guys. Arizona got 17, so that you would have liked to have seen. It really took them to the second half to get that flow going in this game. They really couldn't get that going much in the first half when they fell behind early.
Yeah, and a lot of that is attributed to, as I was saying, be there on the catch.
Yeah.
So these guys can't make shots. You're making shots from three-point. As I said, you're three-quarter of the way down the court, back on defense, as well as the long missed shots, and you have to scramble for the rebound, and it gives you time to get back on defense. So yeah, I feel like that if we were able to push the break at them, because man, it was it was very nice to see Keyshawn with the windmills and the dunks from Caleb Love. It just seemed like we were a more exciting team, and it seemed like we our defense ratchet up a little bit when we're getting those dunks.
And what was their percentage in the first half too, right? So you talk about the shots. I mean, it felt like that stretch, especially in the first half towards the end, maybe the last 8, 10, 12 minutes of the first half. It didn't seem like they missed many shots. And so you talk about fast break points. The fast break points started happening when they got in the passing lane, got some steals, and then when they got some long rebounds and could push. They couldn't push because they weren't turning them over, and they weren't getting any rebounds there in the first half.
Yeah, both teams shot 57% from the floor in the first half.
There's one stat that boggles my mind that we haven't even touched on yet, and that number is 6, fellas.
6.
6 points from both benches combined.
Oh, that's true.
So
yeah.
Arizona scores 2 points off their bench, 2 points from O'Krivas. Purdue had 4 points off their bench, 2 from First and 2 from Gillis. So 6 total points off the bench in this game that ended up 92-84 as all starters.
Yeah, my guy Mason Gillis was not really much of a pest. Although in his he played 21 minutes. He did have 3 assists and a steal. So,
and KJ with the 5 assists, J-Dub.
Yeah. No, I mean, there was contributions off the bench without a doubt. It's crazy that the team scored 92 and 84 points.
Right.
And none of that came from the bench.
Right.
How about you, J-Dub? What'd you have?
Yeah, all great points, both you guys. Number one for me is you got to limit Braden Smith because 6th in the nation in assists. He's obviously 2nd in scoring. If that guy gets loose and has a clean looks, it's going to be a problem, especially in that pick and roll. You want to put, I want to limit him. I want to see less than 5 assists, 45% or under field goal percent, that kind of thing. Number 2, ball pressure. It quite simply, Zach Edey can't score if he doesn't have the ball. So we know how good this Arizona defense is, ball pressure, the perimeter guys, along with Pella and Keyshawn, just really make those touches really difficult for Edey, especially on the move. And number 3, I want to see him work the offense. I want to see, 20-plus assists is a pretty common thing these days for a Tommy Lloyd team. Against this team that they're playing tonight, do not settle because, again, you're talking about the defensive rebounding by Arizona's team. Purdue's also a very good defensive rebounding team. And so you want to make sure that you get good, clean looks. 20-plus assists in half court, work the offense. Run when you have the opportunity, but don't try to force that thing. Just make sure that don't settle and don't take a lot of congested jump shots, contested. Make sure you get good, clean looks.
Well, interesting. Granted, obviously only 2 assists for Braden Smith, but they looked a lot like us in the fact that everybody was sharing the ball in this ball game for Purdue. It wasn't just Braden Smith, which it's been in a lot of their games.
I think Coach Lloyd took it out because, they were forcing Smith left. He likes to go right. Right's his strong side. So I think a lot of those assists he gets to Edey comes off going right, and he whips that ball over his right shoulder, over his left shoulder, right-handed, into Edey on the move. I've seen a lot of highlights of that team. I've seen a lot of Braden Smith pick and rolls with Zach Edey. Only 2 assists for him tonight, but Edey himself gets 5 assists, and that's because there was a lot of straight post-up guys that they were doubling down, as Kelvin talked about so eloquently in the first segment. Big down off the offside, right, Kelvin? Mm-hmm. And Edey was finding the right man in those right spots. So, I think one of the reasons Smith didn't wind up with too many assists is because he had 26 points. He was just in go mode. He was coming off those screens, Kelvin, and really comfortable. He looked like, Mark Price, Steve Nash, stepping into those shots off the dribble. That's a tough shot, and he was knocking it down like it was nothing. Only a sophomore. I was really impressed with this game.
And Coach Painter said before the game, and when he said it, I said he's going to look to score every time. I said it. Coach Painter was like, when you come off of that, don't just take it. You want to take some shots, but you want to probe. Yeah, right. You saw that they were going to be in the drop coverage. He talked a lot about the drop coverage that Arizona runs. And that kid came out ready to go. He took it disrespectful because most guards, if you drop on us, first of all, I'm going to go dunk on your big guy because he's giving me a running start. And I'm going to run right up into him and high jump right over him and dunk in his face. But I'm gonna shoot every time. What do you mean? You're dropping off their screen and you got a 7'3", 300-pound screen, one of the best offensive linemen setting a push screen for you right there. You coming off and it's a layup. And that kid played that way. He wasn't looking to pass today. He wasn't looking to pass today. And whenever he did, he looked horrible. Did you notice? When he looked to pass, he had some bad turnovers. He had a few bad turnovers, but I think somebody on the bench or somebody, told him to be the wiser. Just look for your shot. Take the shot. Because a lot of times when you have a big guy like that, your missed shot is your best pass. A lot of times with guys and they had 11 offensive rebounds. They didn't get a lot of points off of it, but a lot of times when you have a big like that, if you can't get a good pass to him, that means he's probably in rebounding position. So get the shot up and he can get in there and get it.
I'm not going to lie. Like, my first key was defensive pressure by the guards. And coming into this game, I was looking at Braden Smith's numbers, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. And Kelvin, I wasn't thinking disrespectfully. He's earning all that. But my mind was like, there ain't no way that he's getting anything like that against this Arizona backcourt in the defensive pressure. And he got that and more. I mean, I can't tell you how impressed I was. I think Braden Smith more or less controlled and won this game for that team.
And that's what I alluded to earlier when I said I would have disrespected. Remember I said that? I said if I was in the game, I would have been like, come on. But that's the disrespect that'll cost you sometime. And it's a tough pill to swallow, a tough learning lesson. But you know what? Someone don't always got to look like they can kill you to kill you.
We got to talk to a couple of Boilermakers this week leading up to this, and I was like, hey, 5'11", 170 pounds, Kelvin. How comes this kid – and you know what they said? They said he's got deceptively long arms, and that's exactly what played out. He got his hands in a couple of passes, and it's just the way he handled the ball, how low he could get to the ground. I mean, he's definitely doesn't have the measurables you would think of a dominant point guard at this level, especially only as a sophomore, but extra long arms, Kelvin. And he really knows how to use his body. Really impressed with his handle, really tight handle in some of those. But made some bad passes, like you're saying. But overall,
toughness, man.
He had that handle on lock. He was basically weaving in and out of those high ball screens the whole game long. That was their whole mission, was having him coming off those high screens almost every single play. And he handled his business. So I'm really impressed. Come away super impressed with Purdue. Very impressed with Braden Smith in particular.
From a basketball family. Both his dad and his mom were basketball players in college back in Arkansas. All right, those are our keys to the game.
Wildcats fans, that's a look at your keys to the game. They're brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, we'll get a break in here. 520-848-1290. We want to hear from you as well. When we come back, I want to dive in to the Tommy Lloyd playing zone defense in the second half and how that turned out. It's the Meridian Wealth Management post-game show. Wildcats #1 in the country fall to #3 Purdue 92-84 with Kelvin Efon and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog in Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC.
As a homeowner, you've probably seen some pretty bad plumbing problems.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
We've seen them all.
All of them?
Rams Plumbing kept entire buildings flowing. Businesses since 1983.
Wow, so whatever happens to my house...
We've seen it before, and we have the solution. Locally owned and operated, Ram Plumbing is Tucson's most trusted plumber. Our team of licensed professionals can fix anything your home can dish out. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
The Christmas season is upon us, and Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is in the giving spirit. Now till the end of the year, with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning and heating system, we'll give you a $1,000 Visa gift card to help with your holiday expenses. Call us at 520-440-4069 for all the details. 520-440-4069.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results team. When buying and selling really matter, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Rightway will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. We will give you up to $2,000 trade-in plus 0% interest up to 60 months. Manufacturer rebates plus 10-year parts and labor warranty on a new heating and air system.
Have an aging heating and air system? Out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez of Meridian Wealth Management, and I'd like to invite you to our complimentary retirement income workshop held every Friday at 10 a.m. in our offices at the Williams Center. We discuss the key risks in retirement, how retirement has changed, and how to best plan for success. A recent study showed 60% of retirees would go back and plan differently if they could. We want to help you avoid the would've, could've, should've. Call our office at 719-1433 to reserve your seat today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The Meridian Wealth Management postgame show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Here's the Cats, and there's Ballo slamming it down from Pella Larson, and just like that, the Cats are back within 6. Inside to first, double team knocked away by Bradley and stolen away. Here goes Love on the run for the Wildcats, 3-on-1. Ahead to Ballo, slam home 2 more, and the Cats on a run now. They're back within 4. At 67-63.
Arizona turning great defense into great offense.
Timeout, Boilermakers.
Reggie Geary on the analyst role today on the Wildcats Radio Network there. Good defense, a great defense and a great offense. I mentioned 10 turnovers the Wildcats forced in that second half when they went to a zone defense. Zone defense, something very foreign here to us at the University of Arizona. Sean Miller never ran it much, would kind of occasionally throw it out there when he might need to just
What's your
kinda
opinion about that, Kelvin?
Change things up. And then we saw it from Tommy Lloyd. Might have been the first time we've seen it from Tommy Lloyd since he got here.
How about Coach Olson's philosophies? Calvin, you want to enlighten the listeners on how Coach O felt about mixing defenses up?
Oh man, I mean, Coach Olson. I mean, we had different defenses as far as if you made free throws, we can go into a press. You miss, you would get back into man to man. I mean, he would run zone. Coach would run whatever needed to be, to get the job done. So,
my favorite. Well, I'm not speaking about Coach Lloyd. More the stubbornness of Coach Miller, only playing man to man. That was talked about forever here on this station. But Coach O used to, and you know this, DK, of course. He used to run a lot of stuff out of sideline out of bounds or baseline out of bounds, and it might be a 1-3-1 trap, might be a little bit of three-quarter court, baby,
double fist,
right, three-quarter court type of thing. And all it was basically to keep you off balance, so you didn't really know what was coming. And obviously with the personnel to do that, but practicing that stuff, we're talking about today's game, and we're talking about Coach Lloyd going to that zone, and clearly very effective during that stretch. And we haven't seen much of that. It's hard. No matter how much is going on behind the scenes, Kelvin, okay, 2-3 zone. You learn 2-3 zone in 7th grade. Right. This is the very first thing you learn playing basketball. This is not rocket science, but to do it well and to understand, especially when you're talking about guys who are knocking down, 8 3-pointers there in the first half, coming out in that second half, trying to limit their open looks from that. It's tough to maintain. And obviously, Coach Painter, they throw a wrinkle there, 8 minutes without a bucket. What did they do after that? They went inside of the big man, and then they got 2 open, clean looks from the outside right after that.
So should the Wildcats, do you think Tommy should have stayed with it? He kind of came out of it after that.
No, and I'm not here to judge his decision-making. I just think the stubbornness of any coach in the world who only plays one style of defense, I think you got to be flexible to be able to play whatever the game situation requires. Doesn't mean you got to practice 50-50, 2-3, 1-3-1, and man-to-man, whatever. If you got man principles, you're going to do that pack line thing or whatever. Whatever your defensive choice is, having other options, let's say hypothetically 5 of your guys foul out, what are you going to do? You got to have something to lean on. I just don't like the stubborn nature of this is what we do. I don't like the Green Bay Packers, the 1950s and 60s style. Not today, because it's too sophisticated and they can get around that. So having options is never a bad thing.
No, not at all. And that 2-3 defense, I think that they went to it because of the switching. I think the switching and guys getting lost, because usually against shooters, that's the last thing you want to do is go zone, because it opens up opportunities for the catch and shoot for those guys. But I thought that the guys did a great job of rotating. I thought that Purdue overthought it as well. I thought they had some opportunities, and they kind of started to hold the ball, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out the zone. I think it caught them off guard, actually, right, J-Dub? Because they're so used to game planning versus the man, and Arizona basically standing the man basically this year. So when they went to that zone, I mean, they kind of stood around and didn't have the movement that they were having versus the man. And like you said, they basically threw the ball inside, and Edie got 2 or 3 assists off of it from the double teams, and that's the way they kind of busted it. But Coach tried some press. You try to go to press a little bit to try to turn the guys over. Yeah. Also, to heat those guards up and tire them out a little bit, tire their legs out a little bit from knocking down some of those threes. But, they did a good job passing through it and moving the ball.
I look at it really simply is that some buzzwords you might hear are things like flow and rhythm and all these kind of things in regards to any kind of motion offense. And when you're talking about both the style of offense that both Purdue and Arizona run, what you're trying to do is make those guys uncomfortable. So it doesn't matter what that takes, whether or not it's fighting over screens like you saw with Wisconsin, mixing it up a little bit with some other styles of defense against that team that was shooting so high. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just a matter of keeping them a little bit off rhythm. And if it takes, Kelvin, 3, 4, 5 possessions of that, even a couple of presses, like you saw, it was intermittent. It's not like they were pressing up and down the court every single time. Mm-hmm. They're maybe pressing after a made basket or something like that. Doing those things when a team is in rhythm like that and feeling really good about themselves, even if it's just for 3, 4 possessions, you could get them out of that rhythm. Next time they come back, they're running that man against that motion against your man defense. Maybe they're not quite as in rhythm, DK, as they were previously because you just threw something else at them and got their brains a little scrambled. That's all I'm saying. Keep them off balance. That's the goal.
All right, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We've got about 45 minutes left with you here. Actually, we're going to have NFL football coming up for you at the bottom of the hour, sometime in the next hour when we wrap up the program. It is the third game of the day today in the NFL, and we'll get you all the scores coming up a little bit later, but we will have NFL football. This game has just gotten underway. The Denver Broncos at the Detroit Lions. We will have that game for you here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We want to remind you that you can take the 1290 radio station with you wherever you go. Just text app to 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Text app, and we will send you the link to download WildcatsRadio1290.com, the app for your phone, and so you can have us wherever you go. All right, let's find out how we finished on the board in Vegas with this game today. Number 1, Arizona, and number 3, Purdue.
Tucson. What happened with today's best bets? Did the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, everybody took the Wildcats, and we know that did not end as we had hoped it did. So no money on the line tonight. Arizona was a 2-point favorite. They lose this game by 8 points. The over was 160, and that finishes at 176. We all took the over, which has somewhat been the play. It's weird. It's over has been the play in basketball this year. Under was the play for most of the season in football. So everybody gets a split, a push today. J-Dub now 11-7. I'm 11-7. Kelvin at 4-6 on the season.
Kelvin's
with the best
11-7
bets.
too. We'll just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, we can do that. We just and see where everybody goes from here.
It's not like he was playing hooky. He had a good reason to not be here.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Well, we'll do that. I like that thinking, J-Dub. We will promote.
we
will promote Kelvin to 11-7 and see who comes, since we're all even now, and we'll see who comes out ahead at the end.
Look,
now we got a competition.
If we're running a 1-3-1 trap and I get the steal, that means Kelvin got a steal too. DK got a steal too.
All right.
It's all team here.
There you go. All right, we'll get another break here. Come back. We got a whole lot more still for you. We'll dive in, take you back out. Let's hear some of the post-game reaction from this loss today by Arizona, 92-84 to the Purdue Boilermakers. It is the Meridian Wealth Management post-game show with Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Those are today's best bets. They're brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet. This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control.
Saguaro Harley-Davidson wants your bike. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment or stop by today to receive an inspection and an offer. Whether you're looking to trade in or trade up or just looking for some extra money, we are prepared to make you a tempting offer. Don't deal with the hassle of selling it to a stranger. We're here to make the process quick and easy. Only at Saguaro Harley-Davidson or online at SaguaroHarley.com. That's SaguaroHarley.com. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez-Lee, President of Meridian Wealth Management. As a fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer-installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store. The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
The universal truth of women's shoes. The cuter they are, the more they hurt.
You have to put your best foot forward, and if your best foot is an ugly shoe, oh my goodness.
Lisa Ann thought she had to choose between looking good and feeling good until she got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now I can wear the shoes that I've picked out because I like the way they look, not because they were comfortable.
Good Feet relieved her pain and her fashion dilemma. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Go to the Good Feet store at 4811 East Grant Road or at goodfeet.com.
At Nova Home Loans, we believe everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy the independence that comes with home ownership. Whether you're a first-time home buyer who needs down payment assistance, have less than perfect credit, or looking to refinance, Nova has a variety of home loan programs for your unique situation. Visit novahomeloans.com or call 800-955-9125 to learn more. Not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Rates and available loan programs are subject to change without notice. NMLS 3087, BK 0902429, Equal Housing Opportunity.
What do you mean, trenchless?
Means no trench.
But it's the sewer line.
And they did it without ruining my yard.
The yard we're standing in?
The very same.
I don't know if I trust that.
I trust that because I trust them.
Them?
Ram Plumbing.
Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing, offering a comprehensive range of plumbing services from fixtures to installation to trenchless sewer replacement. Turn to Tucson's most trusted plumber. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
(92-84) the final. Purdue knocks off Arizona. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. If you want to get in and talk about the loss, you can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are streaming this show on a number of different platforms. We've got video. We're back on Twitch. I updated the password, so we are back on Twitch after a few days hiatus from that platform. You ever watch Twitch? It's different. I got a lot of folks on there.
So I was a moderator for what was called Justin Television.
Justin Television
became Twitch. So I used to be a moderator on Justin Television before it became Twitch.
Okay. Wow.
That
So what
was
did that
15
entail?
years ago.
What did that entail exactly? Just like
Well,
you
Justin TV
make-
was it was the first streaming service. It wasn't video games at the time. It was I was on there a lot to watch Top Gear and some other shows you couldn't get in America at the time. But it became popular right at the time when basically video game, home showing yourself playing a game by recording your screen live. It was right in the infancy of that. And because it kind of overtook Justin Television, they just spun it into Twitch, which was started as 95% video game playing. Now it's turned into something completely different. But yeah,
Right.
it's always kind of commanded the 14 to 23, 25-year-old age range, much more popular than places like, YouTube or other things. It's been very popular for a long time.
Speaking of streaming, thoughts on the Peacock stream today? I'll give you mine to start. It buffered a few times where we're just kind of like, it wasn't like elongated, but it was just like a quick thing where it would take you out of full screen, kind of back to the where you could see the controls. I also had a lot of I had a mix of English and Spanish commercials, which was kind of cool.
Awesome.
I don't know if that was the same thing on your screen, but like every other commercial that I had on my stream was in Spanish, so that was interesting. Thoughts on it?
My first thought was when they had the replay to determine if there was extracurricular contact, and the refs kept looking back to the camera because they were taking the same feed that Peacock had. And so there was this confusion because they were showing the replay on for us, but then they kept switching back to the refs looking at the monitors, and the refs are looking over their shoulder directly at the camera. That whole moment was really funny to me.
And how about our guy Josh Pastner?
Oh,
I did not know that he was working as an analyst.
I did not either. And I tuned in. I was watching that beginning part. It was great to see Josh break it down.
He looked good. I thought he did a good job. I thought he did a really good job in the studio there for NBC, for Peacock. So Josh Pastner, U of A basketball class, national champion, 1997, longtime college basketball coach, working now as an analyst with
Kelvin,
Peacock.
How many times you go to the rec and do some shooting with him?
Oh man, actually, he actually got my scholarship once I went to football,
Yeah.
so I never actually got to play with him. Yeah, that's why he ended up wearing jersey 11 as well. I'm not sure if that's but that's how he was able to wear 11 because I had left the team and went to football at that time.
Interesting. What did you think of the stream? Did you watch it on a TV, the phone,
I
the
watched
computer?
it on the TV.
Okay.
I watched it, I put it on the big screen, and I didn't like how it looked.
You didn't like how it
it wasn't a clear picture. It's like I was, it looked like something I should have been watching on my phone.
I didn't necessarily think the picture there was anything wrong. At least I watched it on my computer. I see here at the station, so I thought it looked good to me and sounded good.
Yeah.
Well,
they've been doing NFL and some like Premier League soccer and stuff for a while. It's not the first live sporting event that they've ever done, but it's definitely not their wheelhouse. They do a lot more hosting of static,
right?
Old shows from a while back or newer shows, and it's different. It's different. I was a little worried talking about buffering. It's a different animal when you're talking about an event like this where you might have X number of million people tune in, and that's real hard on the servers and stuff. So, yeah, I think the overall experience, I have no complaints. I just thought that the moment with the cameras was pretty funny. But other than that, I just think it was just it didn't feel any different than a lot of other broadcasts.
All right. Well, 520-848-1290. We want to know what you thought of the stream. Peacock. Are you going to keep it? Are you going to cancel it tomorrow and move on with your life? Let us know at 520-848-1290. Let's tell you about what is happening around the rest of college basketball on this Saturday.
The Pac-12 scoreboard is brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
4 finals on the board in the Pac-12 Conference. Santa Clara knocks off Washington State up in Phoenix today, 69-61. So the Cougars fall for the first time. Guess who led that game in scoring? Adama Ball, 23 points for Santa Clara, the one-time Arizona Wildcat who transferred out.
Kelvin Ifan is a big Adama Ball guy. Or maybe vice versa.
He's having a decent season up there. I mean, every time I've seen or heard about a Santa Clara game, he seems to be one of their predominant scorer. 6 of 9 from the floor today for Adama Ball. Played 36 minutes.
We talked about this on the
from 3 and 8 of 8 from the line.
We talked about this in the afternoon show, Kelvin. I want to get your thoughts, but we've talked nothing but glowingly about his game. He came in young. He was 17, skipped a grade. I said, Kelvin, on the show, I think it was 3 weeks ago when he had a big game, too. We talked about him. Courtney Ramey and Cedric Henderson Jr. coming in kind of last minute last year. Obviously, a huge boon to the program. Those guys were great. And we saw what happened in Maui last year, right, where Adama got in a few times. Those first 10-game stretch last year, the season, he got in, got a little bit of quick hook because you had those seniors waiting in the wings at that position coming in. It just never really quite worked out. But I don't think we ever had a doubt that if he got in the right spot and got real minutes that he would be a successful basketball player.
15 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists so far this season for Adama Ball, the man from Le Mans, France, now with Santa Clara. Other finals today, Ohio State knocks off UCLA at the CBS Sports Classic. That was the game right before the one we just finished watching between Kentucky and North Carolina. So the Buckeyes knock off the Bruins. Apparently, Mick Cronin was not real happy with his defense in the second half of that game.
When is he ever happy after a loss? I don't think I've never seen that guy smile.
Yeah.
Well, maybe once. Maybe when they hold a trophy up, he smiles.
Bruins are young. They're young and they're struggling right now as they lose to the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes are now 9-2. Utah knocks off Utah Valley 76 to 62, and it was 26 points and 7 rebounds by Brandon Carlson today for the Utah Utes. One game is in progress right now in conference play. Ole Miss, oh gosh, is my thing playing sound again here? I think it is. Ole Miss is leading California 74 to 56, and one game still to play tonight. Arizona State will play TCU. That is at the USLBM Coast to Coast Challenge down at Fort Worth, Texas. TCU an 8.5-point favorite in that ball game. We'll update you on some things going on in the top 25 right now. We mentioned Creighton is hosting Alabama. That'll be the next team on Arizona's schedule. And right now it is 42 to 40. Creighton is leading this game. Number 8 Creighton at home. So this is a home game for the Blue Jays. Alabama comes in at 6-3 on the season. The Blue Jays are 8-2 and they are undefeated at home. Earlier today, we mentioned Kentucky knocks off North Carolina. That was the 14th ranked Wildcats over the Tar Heels, 86 to 83. Florida Atlantic also played today. They are on the schedule a week from today for Arizona, and the Owls beat St. Bonaventure 64 to 54. That was also at the Basketball Hall of Fame Classic, the one that they were playing down in San Antonio, I believe. And let's see, it was Janelle Davis with 16 points and 9 rebounds today for Florida Atlantic. That is a check. Well, let's just throw in Houston since we're going to be playing them next year, and they're number 4. Houston beat Texas A&M today, 70 to 66. Baylor next year's schedule as well, upset by Michigan State, if you want to call that an upset. Michigan State is unranked. The Spartans beat the Bears today, 88 to 64. Just took them to town for sure in that ball game. And number 2, Kansas knocks off Indiana in Bloomington 75-71. The Jayhawks rallied from 13 points down in that game to win. That's your scoreboard for today. All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Kelvin, any final thoughts from you before we let you fly out of here today?
Yeah, again, it's tough to lose a game. You would love for your team to go undefeated and win the national championship, but the reality, I think that happened maybe once ever, if. So
76, right?
Was that Indiana?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so once ever. I think my boy Larry Johnson and UNLV got close. Got knocked off by Duke there in the end. But, taking a loss versus a team like this, it don't kill you. It's a chance to go back and look and see some things that you can get better at. I think all the guys, whether it's Caleb Love, Boswell, KJ Lewis, any of the guys Ballo can go and look at this film and really put some work in with the coaches and work on some of those things, because the coaches can easily tell those guys that you can end up seeing, if you have an opportunity later in the year in the NCAA tournament or for the championship, you can see a team just like this. So you want to get better at executing the game plan. So at the end of the day, it's not all that bad to take the L right now to the number 3 team in the country, but can't wait to see how these guys bounce back on Wednesday.
Before one quick question, obviously, Mo Krivas only played 7 minutes in this game, 2 points, 1 of 2 shooting, had a couple of turnovers, has not played a lot in these last 2 games. What do you think the immediate role is going to be for him moving forward? And if he's not necessarily going to be a primary rotation guy, just a guy that maybe comes in for a few minutes to spell Umar Ballo, what happens if we have to go to somebody behind Umar Ballo?
Well, this is what I think. I think it's a game-by-game basis. First of all, how many guys are you going to see like Zach Edey? I mean, and like the guys from Wisconsin. I mean, you're in the conference play, you're not going to see that as much. So he's going to have a chance and time to develop and to be able to help us later on in the NCAA tournament. So I don't think all is bad there. I don't think I expected him to play over 10 minutes today with the physicality that Edey. I think this was a game that you wanted Ballo on the court. This is one of those games he get extended minutes, and he did that today. Edey still has some work to do. He's a young freshman. So, again, I think those minutes are valuable for him so he can see some things like possibly development-wise. You got to get in the weight room.
Yeah.
You got to get in the weight room, number one. And number two, really be solid in some of the moves that you're making and really have an intent on what you're doing. So there's some coaching things that could happen there to help him out.
I do like that second spot. He got the ball on the post, and he did some Olajuwon stuff, Kelvin. And Edey just stood in the same spot. Edey did not move, and he went around him a little bit. And, yeah, I agree. I could not agree more. I think Wisconsin's front line and just the intensity of that game, I mean, that was not going to be a game. He got in late, obviously. But this game today, he got in and got a chance with a couple. You could see that they were looking for him on the post. They wanted to test Edey, obviously a brick wall. But as far as future and what number of minutes you should expect from him, DK, I think you're talking about the 2 front lines, maybe the 2 best front lines that Arizona's going to see are most physical this year. And that's not necessarily what the young man's going to be great at. But as far as his ability to come in and spell Ballo, I mean, I still think he might be the best or one of the top 5, 10 best backup centers that anybody could pull off of their bench in the college. So in a situation that you need a center to come in and it's not playing against a 2-time back-to-back National Player of the Year, I think definitely Mo Krivas can be trusted to come in and do some damage.
And I'll say this one last thing. I also believe that our second probably best defense or group is the small group where you bring KJ Lewis in at the power forward at the 4, and then you move Keyshawn to the 5 with the other guys still there and Bradley coming on as well. He's the guy that I expected to get a few more minutes there that actually did Bradley in this game, especially with the way the guards were playing today. But again, I think that small group, especially when we get into conference, could be a weapon as well. So coach is not afraid to go to that, as we've seen in some of the previous games.
Jaden Bradley, 16 minutes in this ball game today. Took 1 shot, did not make it, had 2 rebounds and 2 assists to go along with 2 steals and 1 turnover off the bench for Arizona. Kelvin, we will talk to you on Wednesday. I will be up in Phoenix, so I won't see you, but I'll talk to you, and we'll commiserate on what the Wildcats need to do to knock off the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Play 6 guards.
Play 6 guards. All right.
Pressure.
Kelvin Ifan, ladies and gentlemen, the captain from 1998. We'll hear from Tommy Lloyd, Keyshawn Johnson at the podium from Indianapolis when we return. Arizona falls 92-84 to the Purdue Boilermakers with J.W. Madden and Kelvin Ifan. I'm David Kelly. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K, nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vail School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & K with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor. Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
Enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic. Good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast. So if you've been injured, make the right choice. First
Chiropractic. Good health is to enjoy.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Hi, it's Floyd, the family man with the family plan. Outdated HVAC systems will drive up your electric bill, drain your wallet, and peace of mind. Save now at Goodfellas with no payments or interest till 2024. Got a 30% federal tax credit, up to $2,000 off qualifying heat pumps. Trust Goodfellas. We're locally owned with thousands of 5-star reviews. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Visit us at goodfellasac.com to schedule a no-cost estimate.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Southern Arizona Radiology Associates have been dedicated to providing superior images and quality care for the last 35 years. They're the one you trust when you need an X-ray, CT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or MRI. They have Locations in Tucson, Green Valley, and Sierra Vista. Ask your doctor to refer you to Southern Arizona Radiology Associates today. That's Southern Arizona Radiology Associates. Visit their website at sararadiology.com or call 520-335-6849 for more information.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona Wildcats, number one team in the country for the first time in 10 seasons. They may get back there, but they will have to win their way back as they will fall out of that position after a 92-84 loss on this Saturday in Indianapolis to the Purdue Boilermakers in front of 17,315 fans at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Let's hear the highlights on this ball game today.
Number 1 versus number 3 is underway from Indianapolis. Purdue wins the tip. Lawyer on the drive. Probes through, hangs, and hits.
And when you're struggling with your jumper, he was 0 for 5 in Toronto against Alabama. They're going to give that up to defend the paint. Keyshot Johnson making him pay.
Ballo on a swipe. Here comes Johnson the other way. No real numbers. Love doesn't care. It's Love from above. Big time flush. Good hands by Bradley. 17 to shoot for first. Outside. A 3-ball. In and out. Oh, the follow jam. Caleb first. First to the rim. It has met the expectation with two top 3 teams. Smith looking inside, finds Edie, working against Ballo, just goes right to a spot, counted and a foul.
Guard over 40 minutes of gameplay. And here you see Umar Ballo just gives him the slightest angle. It wasn't even that much of a gamble, but
circles around. Smith, show, stop, up and under, puts it through.
And that's a spot where so often this year when he's jump stopped,
way too strong. Smith, pull up in transition.
Seemingly going Purdue's way. Braden Smith just looking for his offense. And this is as good of an in-game dunk as you're going to see. Keyshot Johnson cleared for takeoff. Well, dunk contest breaking out here in Indianapolis, and Keyshot doing his thing, little windmill. Give Arizona credit. They have just hung in there, taking Purdue's best punch, and they are right here in this game.
Oh, first has his pocket picked. Here comes Love the other way. Bounce it, Ballo!
Transition, the Arizona Wildcats can always push the tempo. Beautiful pass here from Caleb Love. Umar Ballo knows exactly what to do with it. And Ballo, the best of the best in college basketball.
Looking for a gut punch here, working on Boswell. Off the series of screens. Gillis inside, Edie against Ballo. Boom! 10 to shoot. Lawyer on the attack, floats it up, banks it home. It's been that kind of day for Fletcher Lawyer.
And that is the highlights on this ball game today, courtesy of Peacock. Arizona falls to Purdue 92-84. This was actually the second game of the day in Indianapolis. The first game at the Indy Classic today pitted Indiana State, the Sycamores, against the Ball State Cardinals, and it was Indiana State winning that game 83-72. Ryan Conwell had 27 points for the Sycamores. I'm sure Mr. Bird, Larry, the most famous graduate of Indiana State, was extremely proud of his boys today for winning in Indianapolis.
And didn't he go to IU for like 3 weeks?
That's possible.
Yeah, I think Larry originally went to go play. I think
for Bobby?
Coach Knight was there, yeah, and it just wasn't for him.
No.
And so next thing you know, what was it, 2 years later, still to this day, the most watched basketball game of all time, Larry and Magic in the final Michigan State and Indiana State.
1979.
People probably
I remember that game.
think he played for the Hoosiers because, Indiana State is not a team that comes to the forefront when you're thinking of the landscape of college basketball history, but certainly they've had their moments.
And what was interesting just about that is, and I've said before, I went to high school in Central Illinois, in Bloomington Normal, Illinois State University, which was in the Missouri Valley at the time as well. So this was literally like about 3 or 4 years after that I came into my existence in connection with the Missouri Valley Conference. And even then, in the early 80s, I mean, there was, again, it's mid-major basketball, and it was back then, but it was some of the best. I mean, you talk about, Nolan Richardson was in the league at the time. Bob Donewald was the coach at Illinois State. You had some guys, some coaches, some personalities that were in the league then. I'm blanking on the guy that coached at Bradley that coached the Bulls for a while. He was there with the big silver hair. So there were some character coaches. There were some great players. Xavier McDaniel came through there during that time period. The great Jim Less played at Bradley, who saw some time in the National Basketball Association. So there were some really good players in the Missouri Valley during that time period, following those years when Larry Bird kind of put the conference on the map at that particular time. So great memories of basketball, college basketball. They played in a field house today, and that's what they played in. I played in a field house back in the day when I was back in Bloomington Normal. Those field houses, those were interesting. They literally could take out most of the seats, and it basically just became just this big kind of like thing where they could have ancillary activities and all kinds of other things. They just kind of take out one section of the end zone seating, and it became an entertainment venue as well. 92-84, Purdue wins. Let's go back to the Fieldhouse in Indianapolis and hear from the Wildcats after the loss.
Coach, we're going to start with an opening statement from you, and then we'll take questions from Keshad.
Great game. Great atmosphere. It's a ton of fun to be a part of. And, we knew this was going to be a tough haul. And, Purdue, you tip your hats to them. They played great, and their good players played really well. And, that's a credit to them. We tried a few different things, and some worked, some didn't. And, that's how it goes. But I'm excited. I love this team we have. I love all these guys, and I can't wait to hop in the plane, get home, and prepare for a really good Alabama team on Wednesday.
Questions, please, for Keshad. Right here in the front. He'll bring a mic to you. And please state your name and affiliation.
Sam King, Lafayette Journal and Courier. Coach, obviously, you've got the size that can match Zach Edey, and I think you did a good job limiting him for most of the game. But did you kind of have to pick your poison there and give up something where Boyer and Smith were able to take advantage?
Well, a little bit. Maybe, I might have complicated things a little bit too much for our guys and made too many decisions, and we missed a few coverages that we can get better at. But Zach Edey's a great player, and you tip your hat to him, and I thought we did a really good job on him for the most part. Got him to miss a few and made a little run, but unfortunately dug a little too big of a hole.
Questions, please. Raise your hand.
This is the interview room here in Indianapolis with Tommy Lloyd, Keshad Johnson down there as well.
Hi, Bruce Pascal, Arizona Daily Star. Tommy, just about the defense, you went to a little zone there and then back. What was your thought process there, and were you not seeing the ball pressure you would have liked? Or
well, we've been working on that zone defense for a while, just haven't had to use it. And you have it ready for situations like this. They're obviously very well organized and very good players, and they were kind of torching our man-to-man defense a little bit. So, I wanted to see if we could make an adjustment, and for the most part, it went well. And they missed a few shots, and I think we kind of got them out of the rhythm a little bit. And they finally hit a big three there on the right wing, and kind of gave them the separation they need. I think put them up 7, and it was tough from there.
Back in the back.
Sports Report Media. Coach, talk about your team coming on the road, tough place to play, #1 team in the country, but going out and playing everybody.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Listen, I'm not trying to be the #1 ranked team in December. That you guys decide that, not me. So, to me, it's just two great teams, and that I thought were pretty evenly matched. And, it was a great atmosphere. It was definitely a road game. And, for the most part, they had their way with us a little bit. But I think our character of our program's strong, and I think our guys dug in and fought back, and I was really proud they gave us a chance. I think this is going to go a long ways to really helping our program.
Questions, please. Raise your hand. Back in the back again.
Well, for both of you, I was just wondering how defending Zach Edey plays into what Purdue did with their guards. I mean, in other words, did you guys tweak anything that made it a little bit easier?
Kishad, we'll start with you.
I would say we know Zach Edey is a great player. We know he's used to being double teamed, and he got a lot of shooters around him and whatnot. But we just tried to make it as tough as possible on him. He made a lot of good plays out of that double team, and we just still tried to try to make it hard on him. But we also respect the other players. Lawyer had a good game. We know Smith is a good player, and for the rest of the guys, the pieces around them too, they're good too. So we just got to respect the team. It was a good overall win for their team. We're gonna learn from that and build on it.
Coach Lloyd?
Yeah, I mean, listen, those guys, I don't know if we did a great job on those guards, but those guards are a really good player. And, Lawyer, I thought, we lost him a little bit early, maybe got him comfortable, and then he hit some really tough floaters, which you're probably living with a little bit. That's how it goes. I think he banked in 3 or 4 floaters, and I'm sure he's good at that shot. So don't get me wrong, and they weren't lucky, but, at some point, if you're picking poison, usually guys banking floaters is a poison you're willing to take. And so, big time shots by him.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Right Way will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. We will give you up to $2,000 trade-in plus 0% interest up to 60 months. Manufacturer rebates plus 10-year parts and labor warranty on a new heating and air system.
Have an aging heating and air system? Out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. And coming soon is Del Webb at Rock & Kay, a 55-plus active adult community offering a rec center, world-class amenities that promote health and wellness, and new homes with refined interiors and stunning outdoor spaces. Live rockandk.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Donna Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
As a homeowner, you've probably seen some pretty bad plumbing problems.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
We've seen them all.
All of them?
Rams Plumbing kept entire buildings flowing. Businesses since 1983.
Wow, so whatever happens to my house...
We've seen it before, and we have the solution. Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing is Tucson's most trusted plumber. Our team of licensed professionals can fix anything your home can dish out. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona, number 1 in the country, falls to number 3, Purdue, 92-84. First loss of the year for the Wildcats. We didn't really talk much about Caleb Love tonight. He had an outstanding game. 29 points on 9 of 19 shooting. 4 of 9 from 3, 7 of 7 from the line. 29 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 block, and 2 steals in 37 minutes.
Yeah, the 1 turnover is the most impressive thing to me. I mean, yeah. I expect the point. In a game like this, DK, I expect him to step up. That's his role. I expect him to be in that moment. Nothing's going to rattle him. But doing that all and all the minutes he played with only having 1 turnover, super impressive night for the young man.
Yeah, Caleb Love continuing to be a guy that does a little bit of everything for this team. And again, Purdue just shot a little bit better from behind the arc in this ball game, finishing 10 of 24, 2 percentage points above their season average, led by the 2 sophomore guards, Fletcher Lawyer, who scored 27, and Braden Smith, who had 26. J-Dub, any final thoughts before we wrap this one up tonight?
Yeah, tip your cap. I mean, Purdue's a great team. That's a great team we just played, that Arizona played tonight, DK. And I think they played 10 games. Both teams maybe win 5. A great matchup. Got a lot to learn from it. Going to go back to the tape. I'm sure Coach Lloyd has a lot of thoughts. And this can only make the team better moving forward.
Yeah, interesting. In his comments, we heard him kind of give the sense that maybe he made it a little bit too complicated defensively for the team today.
Well, as I was mentioning to Kelvin in the first segment or second segment, it felt like the switches between the guards were a little bit different. They were coming from a different spot when they normally would. Maybe last week we saw versus Wisconsin, they fought over every single high ball screen. That was a big part of that success. Tonight, it felt like they were switching maybe to make the angles passing to Edey a little bit difficult. That might have been the thought process. I don't know. But it did look, those switches and the scrambles especially, that some of those guys got a little bit lost as to who their man might be. But again, I love that Coach, number 1, takes personal responsibility. He doesn't say these guys didn't figure out what we were trying to do. He says maybe the coaching staff put a little too many wrinkles in. He said that at Stanford last year, same thing. So I don't, whatever it was they were trying to do, DK, they did it well at times. It was just those times that they got lost led to wide open shots, and Purdue knocked every one of those down.
All right, J-Dub, enjoy your Sunday. We will talk to you, DK, on the Sports Tip at 3 o'clock on Monday. Our next broadcast, and it's going to be a doozy in terms of basketball, will be on Wednesday. It's going to be a full day of college basketball for you here on Wildcats Radio 1290. We will start at 2:30 with the Arizona women's basketball game, actually about 2:15 that day, as they will play the Gonzaga Bulldogs up in one of the early games of the Colangelo Hall of Fame series. 2:15 coverage with Derek Palmer, 2:30 tip-off He will take you through the women's basketball game. And as soon as Derek signs off, we will join you with the Meridian Wealth Management Countdown to Tip-Off show. I will be live from Willie's Taco Joint on Jefferson Street in downtown Phoenix. Stop on by and join us for the show. We are right next door. Willie's Taco Joint is right next door to the Footprint Center. It's kind of right on one of those bars that's between on the walk from Footprint Center to Chase Field, right on the corner, closer to the arena. So we will be there Wednesday afternoon for the pregame show from about 5 o'clock to around 8 o'clock in the evening. And then, of course, tip-off for that game. It's a later one. Second time this year, the Wildcats will have a 9 o'clock start as they will take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. And then we will be back at Willie's Taco Joint. So after the game, I know it's a Wednesday, but it's the holidays, so you can stay out late. We'll be back at Willie's Taco Joint to talk about the game afterward from about midnight till 2. Maybe we'll knock off a little bit early, as we sometimes do, but that's the time frame, sometime between 11:30 and 1:30-ish. We'll be back there to wrap things up after the game against Alabama. Want to thank all the folks that were associated with our broadcast today. AJ Camacho, Dusty Dale running the boards today, as well as the gentleman who participated in this program with me, J.W. Madden, as well as Kelvin Efon, the captain, 1998. But as always, most of all, thanks to you for listening. We have got NFL football coming up for you. It is just about halftime, so you'll have the second half of the game tonight, the final game of the day. I'll run down real quick these scores for you that happened earlier. The Indianapolis Colts, it was a good day in Indianapolis for the Indiana folks. The Colts beat the Steelers 30-13. How about Gardner Minshew and company, now 8-6 on the season, playing themselves into the AFC playoff picture. The Bengals knocked off the Vikings 27-24. They are 8-6 as well in that stacked AFC North division. The game right now in progress, which we will hit here shortly, the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. The Lions at 9-4, trying to win 10 games for the first time in forever. They are leading the Broncos by a score of 14-0. And real quick, one more score on your Mesquite Valley Growers scoreboard. The team that Arizona will play next, Alabama, currently playing at Creighton tonight. The number 8 Blue Jays are leading the Crimson Tide, or I should say trailing the Crimson Tide at the moment, 58-54, with about 13 and a half minutes to go in that game tonight. Mesquite Valley Growers, real experience, real nursery. I'm David Kelly. Thanks for joining us today. Once again, your final score today in Indianapolis, the number 3 ranked Purdue Boilermakers 92, the Arizona Wildcats 84. We will talk to you on Monday at 3 o'clock. DK on the Sports Tip. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you for listening to this special presentation from Wildcats Radio 1290. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program already in progress. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Russell Wilson and this offense has the ability to do, but it hasn't happened yet. And offensively, they had been turning the ball over, and they have not done it tonight. And they're doing what you want to do against a Vance Joseph defense, which is an aggressive